So our first recipient today, she is receiving the Innovative Impact Award. And this is an award that honors a visionary leader who drives meaningful change through creativity, measurable impact, and sustained excellence. They champion inclusion, inspire others, and leave a lasting positive legacy. And for this particular recipient, I have had the great privilege of sitting in on her monthly roundtable, the next of which is tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you all there. And I have experienced her brilliance firsthand. 15 out of 10 recommend. I am delighted to present this award to the brilliant Crystal Whiteaker.
Thank you, Dale. Dale's gonna come.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm going to talk about love, just FYI. Angela Davis said, "You have to act as if it were possible to radically transform the world, and you have to do it all the time." I had the pleasure of hearing Angela Davis speak a few years ago. Her presence and passion is so compelling in the most grounded way. And depending on who you ask, her ongoing commitment to liberation ranges from inspiring to intimidating and sometimes controversial. And this is true of many influential leaders. I think of figures like Marsha P. Johnson, Audre Lorde, and Alice Walker, just to name a few. So, how do you create a legacy with lasting impact when so many brave voices and disruptors have come before us? I believe the answer is rooted in our core values and genuine expressions of love. I believe deeply that when we move in alignment with our values, we cultivate a life and experiences that inform our legacy. However, we don't get to fully determine the outcome, which can change depending on who is telling the story. There's duality and nuance in legacy because not everyone seeks notoriety and not everyone has good intentions. Legacy is decided by other people in response to our actions, behaviors, and impact. So I asked people in my community what their perception of legacy was. Responses ranged from acknowledgments of innovators who introduced transformative technologies, to disruptors that led social movements, to thought leaders who opened minds and hearts, and even seemingly simple thoughts on how we show up in the now with our communities and our loved ones. The idea of creating legacy may seem like a tall order, but it doesn't have to be. It's easy to point to the most transformational social movements where legacies defined generations. It's equally important to acknowledge the most transformational shifts we experience personally that may never be widely talked about beyond our connections. Regardless of where you may fall on the spectrum, it's all driven by a need for change and what I recognize as love. I say this in consideration of bell hooks and her perspectives, including love being a conscious choice that requires intention, will, and commitment, that love provides healing and growth, and that it's a revolutionary force. Think about the people you know who have sparked transformation in your life. They are a part of your legacy, whether you know them or not. Though if you do know them, I hope you tell them how they have impacted you. I'm lucky to have multiple people in my life, many of which are in this room right now, who have been revolutionary forces for me. One of them is my dear friend Paige, who believes big dreams know no bounds. And she inspired me to take the leap into branding and encouraged me to lean into inclusive branding. And Paige also helped me reconnect to the most authentic parts of myself and find pieces of me that I thought I had lost. And she also encouraged me to connect to my own innate power. Her loving friendship was a catalyst for the brand I've built that has made me an author, gotten my work into universities, and my voice on stages. However, that is not what means the most to me. The most valuable element of Paige's legacy in my life is that the body of work I've created led to healing my relationship with my mom. A big dream fulfilled for my own inner child. And Paige held a lot of space for me as I navigated that transformation. And healing that relationship also prepared me for the healthiest relationship I've ever experienced with my beautiful partner, Tamaya. The way we show up, hold space, and support one another is the sweetest love language I have ever experienced. Our partnership transformed what I believed was possible and reassured me that the kind of love I deserve is not hard to practice. And she's helped me reframe the meaning of play and how mundane tasks can be connective bonding experiences. She also reminds me in so many ways why compassion, patience, and grace are important to me, often without having to say anything at all. In fact, it was a long morning hug with Tamaya when it sunk in for me that real, meaningful legacy is rooted in love. And when that thought entered my mind, I definitely hugged her tighter. My relationships are the kinetic force behind everything I do. These are the kind of legacies that I want to remember, and I'd like to think that the elders and ancestors who paved the way felt similarly. It's not just about what we do, what we build, cultivate, or put our names on. How people are affected by what we do is really what determines our legacy. And it doesn't have to result in fame to matter. My invitation to you all is to always lead through your